Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another update on the ever-increasing coverage that I've been doing here of the Rust movie shoot, the fatal incident, basically. Now this is quite interesting. We had heard reports of this, but nothing official, and now you read from the title, we're getting more and more sort of official counts of it, hence why I'm covering it, which is that crew after hours were using this gun, this weapon, the same weapon that had, or the same weapons that had been used in the film by Alec Baldwin to shoot just after hours for fun, which then I guess answers the question many people had, which is why were live rounds even on set? I think that therein lies your answer, unfortunately. So we're going to dive into this today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for everyone appreciating the coverage of all of this. I know a few people have chimed in and said, "Oh, Mr. H really loves Alec Baldwin." No, you guys have just genuinely really appreciated this coverage. In fact, some people have said it's the best coverage they've had of it, and I plan to keep going with it. If you guys are appreciating it, of course, I'm going to keep covering it because that's important. And actually, it's not just that. You know, this stuff is important to cover. Fundamentally, it's important stuff to cover. So let's take a look at this, right? And I think this, again, I mean, this has only just been released, October 26th, today. Obviously, time difference, etc. It's only just really been released. But this fundamentally indicates how poor the safety was on this set and how lax the armourer was, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Because she's the individual that has these guns. She brings them, she's maintaining their safety, etc. And you're allowing them after hours to be just used as for fun. I mean, I get it. In the States, guns are fun, right? They are something which you can use as fun, but not in a professional setting. I think that's where it stops, isn't it? That's where we can cut ties there, because if you're in a professional setting, you're using guns to have fun. I think that crosses a boundary, maybe. Potentially, maybe there's going to be people that disagree, but obviously gun culture in the UK is not massive. But I would say that crosses a boundary there, where you're getting a blurred line of professionalism and safety standards. But here we go. So the prop gun, and just to clarify, because I've been jumping in the comments now, because a lot of people are like, don't call it a prop. It's not a prop, it's an actual gun. So if you didn't know, I mean, that's a prop right there. That's a prop staff. So I've made films. I've made some short films. And upstairs, I have an actual sword, right? An actual sword, an actual axe, and they are actually sharp, and they could actually kill a man. But they're still a prop. So a prop is just terminology that we use to indicate something which is being used in the audiovisual medium to compensate and to sort of bring up part of costume, basically. So when I say prop gun, please don't, I'm not indicating that this is not a real gun. I'm just indicating that it was a gun that was used in the film as a prop. Okay? Sorry. I just wanted to clarify that because I have been jumping in the comments and I don't want anyone to think that I'm misconstruing terminology. I'm actually using the correct terminology given, within the industry anyway. But let's continue, sorry. The prop gun that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins on a New Mexico film set had been used that morning. Now, there were some reports that they started their day at 6:30. How early are these guys waking up? But anyway, that morning, by crew members to shoot cans for fun, a report said. And this was on Tuesday, okay? But it's sort of wrapping back around now. These things are now coming out more and more. I mean, that is Tuesday, it is Tuesday, but you get my point. So just hours before the fatal accident, a group of crew members had taken the firearm to go plinking, a hobby in which people shoot at beer cans with live ammunition, amid production of the Alec Baldwin flick Rust in Santa Fe, an insider told The Wrap. Now, we had heard that this was going on, but there was no official statement, no official exclusive that had been revealed. And just as a side note, FYI, the previous video I did about David Halls being fired from another set, the assistant director, due to a gun actually firing off and hitting someone again, I do have a source directly related to that production that will hopefully reveal some more information about David Halls and how they interacted with that individual and what the atmosphere was like on set, because that's important. The assistant director is integral to safety on set, and that guy was seemingly very lax with the safety protocols. So anyway, diving into this again. Production sources had previously revealed that the gun had been used for off-the-clock target practice, which could explain how a live round ended up in its chamber, TMZ reported. Now that actually doesn't explain it, because the armourer should be setting up and establishing whether the weapons have any live rounds in them before and after every single shoot. Every single scene they should be doing that. So it explains why there's one in it, but it doesn't explain how it remained in it. That's a very important distinction here, and we shouldn't really allow... We shouldn't be obfuscating the blame around... the armourer is integral in that. It's the sole job on set. It's what they're paid to do. So anyway, one source on set claimed that when authorities arrived following the deadly shooting Thursday, they found live ammo and blank rounds, and this is what's really startling, stored in the same area that had been the site of the target practice. Authorities have not confirmed the claims, but we are getting a big statement tomorrow from the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department, so we may get some more then. Now, obviously, this is fairly standard stuff. A search warrant released. I've covered this stuff. Search warrant released Tuesday revealed that 9 shell casings were recovered by authorities responding to the set after Baldwin unknowingly fired a live round that fatally struck 42-year-old Hutchins in the chest and injured director Joel Souza, 48. Reps for Rust Productions have maintained the safety was the top priority. It wasn't. We know it wasn't. 6 crew members walked off due to safety as well as bad pay. Though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning a weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. I've covered this before, and I've always said that's very self-congratulatory. Never trust an internal review of anything. So, this is the gun, or the type of gun that was used. There's not a lot of other information here. The information directly is it was used for fun. Now, I think you can absolutely have fun whilst on film sets. I've had fun, with the crew members that I've worked with. We've all had a good time. It's been a blast. But when safety comes into it, that is the top priority. So there you have it, ladies and gents. It's unconfirmed at this point in time, but there are enough reports. There were enough reports of misfires after hours, i.e. the gun just went off. Why did it just go off? It was held. Someone was holding it, and if someone was holding it, it pertains to this sort of information of people using it for fun after hours and then realising that the weapons are not actually safe. This is just an abject failure, a negligence, gross negligence across the board. So tragic and wholly avoidable. That's the point here. But also as well, I just want to clarify this as well. This is the first incident that has occurred like this since The Crow, nearly 30 years ago. So as much as we say that they need better on-set safety and things like that, actually, the safety procedures that were in place do actually work when they're followed. Because we haven't had an issue since The Crow. And that was near 30 years ago. That was the last case of someone being shot. And dying, actually fatally. So, yeah. Just important to keep that in mind, of course. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below of this update. Thank you for appreciating the coverage. We're Mr. H. Take care.